Alright, hey guys, my name is Ace Reddy, and in this webinar, I'm going to be showing you guys the easiest way to make at least $50,000 a month with e-commerce. Okay, but before we get to the webinar, I have to tell you, Ace Reddy or me or any of our companies or any of the names that we mention, we in no way guarantee any results by implementing the information. The programs and Ace Ready individually are not responsible for your actions. You're solely responsible for your own moves and decisions, and the evaluation and the use of our products and services should be based on your own due diligence. Okay, so I have to give that disclosure legally. Now with that out of the way, let's get in. So if you're sick and tired, right, because if you've been doing e-commerce, you must have faced these problems. Or if you haven't started doing e-commerce yet, and if you follow the traditional way of building an e-commerce business, you're going to run into these issues, right? If you're sick and tired of finding winning products or dealing with China and suppliers or doing all the tech stuff, right? Like building out stores and, fixing things and doing coding and stuff of that nature and putting apps on the store and stuff. And if you're also sick of handling customers and refunds and complaints and the 3-week shipping problems and all of that stuff, and you don't even want to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on advertising products that don't convert. Like if you don't want to do any of the high-level testing and you don't want to spend money on ads and you don't want to handle customers and refunds and you don't want to do the tech stuff or do any of the complicated stuff and want to make money with e-commerce, on this webinar, I'm going to show you the secret system that most gurus don't even talk about. I'm going to show you the step-by-step process to build nothing and own everything. That's kind of our motto here. If you guys know me, I'm a guy that likes doing stuff the easy way, right? And I don't like building stuff because I think building stuff is painful, right? And if you look at any major entrepreneur or any major business person, they've not even built a lot of stuff. They just leveraged off a trend and made a bunch of money, right? Airbnb owns no hotels, right? Uber doesn't own any cars yet. They're making money because they found a way to be the middleman. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how to be that sort of middleman and make at least $50,000 a month with e-commerce and how you can do it in the easiest possible way. Okay, so I'm going to start this off by saying we've all been taught by the gurus to believe that we will all make millions of dollars easily building e-commerce stores from scratch and running a few ads to them, right? But we won't. And we're slowly starting to learn that fact. Picking products is extremely hard, right? Like if you jump on YouTube and you see like the videos from any of these gurus and they're all talking about how finding winning products is easy, they're freaking lying to you, right? Like this is coming from someone that did all of this stuff, and I'll tell you my story here in a second. But it is extremely hard to find winning products, guys. It's not easy. You have to do a lot of testing, especially if you're a beginner with no experience. You're going to be running into a lot of problems when trying to find products to advertise on your store, right? Dealing with suppliers is an incredible pain, especially if you're dealing with suppliers from China. It's an incredible pain. Throwing your own money on ads to test products is too risky. Right? So if you have an e-commerce store and you're putting $5,000 into it, you don't even know if you're going to make the $5,000 back, right? And I would say that there's at least a 60% chance, probably 80%, that you're not even going to make the money back, right? That's just because of the nature of that business. Now, building an e-commerce store is also, like if you have to do it from scratch, is super time consuming and it's super complicated. And if you're a person that doesn't like tech stuff like I do, like I do not like doing tech stuff, I suck at it, right? Then you will hate the whole process, right? Refunding customers and dealing with support issues is painful as well. Not just support issues in terms of your customers, but also getting your ad account shut down and all of that problem. Like the whole business model is complicated, right? The whole typical traditional way of doing e-commerce is complicated. If you're doing drop shipping, your customers are not going to get the products for 3 weeks, right? During the coronavirus pandemic, they will not even get the refunds for like 6 weeks, probably. Not the refunds, but the products for 6 weeks. Right? You're going to have a lot of angry customers. Everyone's going to ask for their money back, and everyone's just going to hate your brand and hate your company just because of the way it's structured. So unless you have hundreds of thousands of dollars to throw in on ads and proper infrastructure, you cannot really build an e-commerce business the traditional way. without taking up a ton of risk, right? Like it may work, but you're dependent too much on luck. You're depending too much on your own skills and strategies. It's too risky, right? And in business, risk is good, right? But the risk needs to be calculated. In an e-commerce business, there's just so many variables and there's so many things moving around that it's very hard and very complicated to calculate the right amount of risk. Now on this webinar, I'm going to show you guys a way to bypass all of these complicated elements of building an e-commerce business the traditional way. I'm going to be showing you guys how to not spend any money on ads, right? How to not find winning products, how to not worry about support or refund issues, how to not worry about your ad accounts going down or anything like that, right? And I'm going to show you guys the easiest way to make money with e-commerce, and I've been doing this for a while, right? And this is the easiest way of doing it. Now, I'm going to show you guys the system in a bit, but first, let's talk about who I am and why you should even listen to me. Because it's very important for you guys to understand who I am as a person. Because if you don't know me, right, you will not take my advice seriously, and you shouldn't. You should research the people you're learning from, right? Because there's a lot of false gurus out there promising the world and delivering nothing, right? I want to tell you guys about me here for a second. So this is me, right? My name is Ace. I have 4,000 students from 120 countries. Most recommended e-commerce expert in the ClickFunnels community for the last 2 years. ClickFunnels is like this software, and they have a Facebook community with 200,000 members in it, and I have consistently been the most recommended e-commerce person to go to for the last 2 years, right? And you can't do that by being a false guru. You can't do that by, just teaching stupid stuff. You get that sort of attention, you get that sort of status by teaching stuff that works, right? I have testimonials from over 22 Comma Club winners, right? A 2 Comma Club winner is someone that has made over $1 million with the ClickFunnels software, building funnels and building pages and whatnot, right? 22 Comma Club winners have given me a testimonial. 2 of them credit my Facebook ad system directly to help hit the 2 Comma Club. So 2 people credit my Facebook ad system for e-commerce only to hit $1 million in sales, okay? And I've helped scale multiple stores to 6 or 7 figures, right? Pioneered the ultimate blueprint method and been crushing it since 2018. And what is the ultimate blueprint method? I'm going to share it with you guys in a second here. Now, here's a few more testimonials. If you guys don't know who this is, it's Michael Devlin, and he holds the record for making over $1 million in 48 hours, right? And here's what he has to say about me. He says, follow exactly as Ace teaches when it comes to e-com and ads, as the world of e-commerce needs more marketers with proprietary and proven blueprints just like Ace, right? And I don't want to waste too much time here on testimonials and stuff, so I'll just keep briefing you guys real quick. Now, Chris Funnels says, I got into the 2 Comma Club by being able to build funnels and run ads profitably and consistently on multiple campaigns. Ace is a beast in this game, and you're in good hands because his training helped me get those results from my clients. We've profitably spent over $400,000 for e-commerce clients in the past year, and that's a guy that is a 2 Comma Club winner. Let's take a look at this client of mine called Brent Shepard, right? Brent messaged me in 2018. He had an e-commerce business that was doing well, but the profits were very low because he was spending way too much money on ads and he wasn't able to turn a profit, right? So he messaged me. He tried to buy a $197 webinar from me, and I was like, dude, just do it. And he kept tiptoeing, and here's what he said, right? He said, sorry for the tiptoeing. It is hard for me to pay for something that I don't know what I'll receive from it. LOL, but I've heard a lot of good things, so let's do it, right? So he bought a $197 webinar from me. And a few weeks later, he posted this screenshot with $178,000 in sales saying I doubled my revenue in a couple of weeks, right? And I even sent him a message after that asking him what his profits were. He doubled his revenue and he doubled his profits at the same time because my Facebook ad system was the best Facebook ad system ever in the e-commerce space for a long period of time, especially for someone that's starting out. Like anybody could take it, especially because it was super simple and make a lot of money with it, right? And On 11th January of this year, he posted this saying he just hit his first eCom club, which is he made $1 million, and he used my Facebook ads system to make $1.27 million in sales in 2019, which is pretty epic, right? So next, right now, since we've seen the testimonials, let's get to the actual value part. Let's talk about the e-commerce business itself, right? And why it will never die. Regardless of whether you get hit with the coronavirus or there's riots or whatever's going on, e-commerce is not gonna die. Here's exactly why. Take a look at Jeff Bezos, right? And this guy right here, he made $24 billion in the pandemic. That's $24 billion, right? In the pandemic. How did he do that? His net worth right now is like 150 billion, dude. You know, that's crazy. Right? How did he do that? Where now you see like Gold's Gym filing for bankruptcy, right? You see True Religion filing for bankruptcy. You see all these huge outlets filing for bankruptcy. How did Jeff Bezos make $24 billion? One simple word: consumerism, right? That's the golden law that sort of operates the earth. Consumerism. We are the byproducts of a lifestyle obsession, right? We just can't resist buying something that helps us live a better life. I mean, look around you, right? Do you really need an Xbox to survive, right? Like think of like 200 years ago, right? People didn't even have an Xbox, but they were still alive. But why is it that we have these things now that we don't even need, right? Like these are wants, right? Like it would be great if I had an Xbox, but would I be alive without an Xbox? Absolutely. Would I be healthy without an Xbox? Absolutely. But then why did I buy it, right? Do you really need an iPhone? Do you need it? Do you really need half the stuff that you currently have, right? And wherever you're sitting, just take a look around you and see if you actually need half of the stuff that you currently possess. Exactly. You don't need that stuff. Yet, it doesn't stop you from buying it, right? You go to the mall thinking, I'm not going to buy anything today. And you leave with a few bags in your hand. This is why e-commerce will never die. People will not stop buying stuff, right? A pandemic won't stop people from buying stuff. The government won't stop people from buying stuff. The murder hornets are not going to stop people from buying anything. Absolutely nothing has the power to overrule consumerism, right? Now the real question then is, do you want to just be on the consumer end, or do you want to be the person getting paid, right? This is exactly why I like e-commerce. It allows me to sell stuff that people want to buy, right? Instead of just being the customer and being the consumer of the lifestyle obsession, I actually get paid by leveraging on the opportunity, right? And as Grant Cardone says, spectators pay, players get paid. Consumerism is the religion of the 21st century. Now here's the best part. It's pretty easy for someone like you or me to jump in and take advantage of this opportunity and help your family live the life they deserve. Now you have access to the internet. You have access to everything that you need to build or to even grow an e-commerce business and make a lot of money, right? Now, why should you even believe this is true? Here's some of the results that I was able to generate by leveraging the concept of consumerism. I sold $146,000 worth of a simple Viking mug, right? It's a mug with a skull on it, and it's practically useless, right? But people love to buy stuff like that because it makes them feel good, right? I sold $70,000 worth of a personalized cat socks in 2 or 3 months, where we would basically take the picture of your cat, we would put it on a sock, and we would send it to you. That's as simple as that is. We sold $4.6 million in health supplements. We sold $483,000 worth of snowboards during the last quarter. We turned $65 into $1,000 in just 7 days with Facebook ads. Again, all leveraging the law of consumerism, right? We made $70,000 selling this sock right here, right? Which is kind of insane because everyone's like, all right, dude, like, how do you do that? But yeah, it's not that hard. $146,000 selling this mug right here, right? I mean, what do you even do with the mug? Do you drink coffee in it? I don't know. But people were buying it and they loved buying it, so we sold it. Now, I'm not showing you these results to brag, right? I'm not that arrogant, right? I'm only showing them to you to show you what's possible. Now, let me give you the simple 3-step system to crush it with e-commerce. Let me give you the simple 3-step system to build a $50,000 per month business with e-commerce. Step 1, find a hot audience, right? A 14-year-old surfing on the internet wouldn't be buying online because he doesn't have access to the resources to buy it, right? Like, even if he goes to his parent now and gets a credit card, again, it's still a hard sale. He needs to go and convince his parent to get him to buy something, right? And an 89-year-old that doesn't even use Facebook is probably not even going to see your ad, right? So he's not your audience. The 14-year-old is not your audience because he doesn't have the resources to buy yet. An 89-year-old is not your audience because he's not even going to see your ad, right? But a person between the age of 25 to 50 that uses social media and has access to a credit card is most likely going to buy something, right? That's the sweet audience that's going to buy anything. Now, if you take it a step deeper, right? Someone that has already bought something online in the past is more likely to buy something again and again and again, right? Now, going deeper, you can pick one specific segment of the audience and choose to only sell to them, which is pretty awesome. For example, we strictly sold our Viking mug to Game of Thrones fans, and we were hitting $45,000 a month in sales, right? And that is your ideal target audience. That is our ideal target audience when we were selling the mug. So we were like, all right, guys, if you watch Game of Thrones, buy this mug, right? Really that simple. That was my hot audience. Step number 2, find out what they're buying, right? Once you find an audience, do some research and figure out exactly what kind of stuff they're buying. Like what's triggering them to go out there, pull a credit card and buy something, right? What kind of products? Are they buying cool products that don't have a lot of value? What's the trend like? What price points are they buying it at, right? So for example, like when we did the Game of Thrones stuff, we realized that a lot of people were buying this mug, right? But it was so obscure when we were promoting it that not a lot of people were pushing it. So we were able to get in on the opportunity at the right time, and we made a ton of money doing that. So that was awesome. And what price points are they buying it at? It's like, are they buying $39 products? Are they buying $80 products? Are they buying $100 products in your niche? What price points, right? Once you figure out what they're already buying, you could just tell them, hey, buy from me instead, right? And it's really that simple, guys, right? And again, I'm not even talking from theory. Like, I've personally did this kind of stuff, right? Like, I've made a lot of money selling stuff on the internet, and this is exactly how simple it is. You go to YouTube, you find all these gurus overcomplicating everything, and they're talking about how things are so hard, and about how making money with e-commerce takes a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of effort. It really isn't, right? It all goes down to how deeply do you understand the audience and how you can find a product that they're buying, and then how you can get them to buy from you, right? Now, how do you do the third part? Simple. You build a system to get them to buy from you, right? This is where the Shopify stores and the funnels and the ads and everything else come in, right? The idea is to structure a system to convert someone who doesn't even know you, who doesn't know what your brand is, to knowing you, to getting familiar with your brand, and then ultimately buying from you. It's really that simple, right? Now, that's the 3-step formula to build a 6 or even a 7-figure business online with e-commerce, right? I already gave you the golden formula. You could run with it right now and make a bunch of money, right? You can steal it today, get results with it if you're an experienced player, okay? However, There's a major problem. And I've been running ecom academies and programs for years now, right? Like for 2.5 years, I've been doing this, where I would teach people e-commerce. And the greatest problem that I've noticed is that most of my students do not know how to follow the 3-step formula, right? We could teach them exactly what to do, right? And we could do a course on it and we could tell them, hey, do this and do that and do this. And 90% of them still do not know how to find a hot audience. They still don't know how to find a winning product. They don't know how to put together a system to test the products or sell them, right? Because again, a lot of the students that were joining our academies were beginners, right? And again, look, I had 200 testimonials, right? 250 actually, and we got a bunch of people results. We had the best content in the game, right? But the business model on itself is quite complex, hard, and takes experience, right? So the guys that were getting a lot of results are people that had some experience with e-commerce, and they were just able to take the information that I gave them and run with it, right? But the beginners that got started, it was too much for them to figure out, right? It's pretty easy for me now, for example, to pick a winning product and test it the right way without burning a lot of money. But even if, for example, we both were sitting together, right? And I was like, hey, test a product like this, do this, go run an ad like this. It's still hard, right? I mean, you'd have a lot higher success rate if I did that, but it's still hard, right? Because the whole traditional way of e-commerce is complicated, right? This is probably why even after watching course after course on dropshipping or e-commerce or print on demand, you still can't make any money. It's really not your fault. It's just that the business model on itself is quite complex and it's very hard to learn it from an academy or a course, right? And I was so obsessed with getting my clients results that I even started giving away 3 or 4 coaching calls to help them get off the ground, which helped a lot of people. But still, the business model in itself is such a complex business model that you get into it and you start getting overwhelmed. You start getting headaches. You don't know where to start. And it's just complex, right? Now, remember the golden rule, right? And this rule is what shapes everything, right? It is 10 times harder to make your first $10,000 than it is to make your first $100,000, right? It is 10 times easier to go from making 10 grand a month to making 100 grand a month than it is to make your first 10 grand. Here's why. Because you have zero data and you don't have any resources or very little resources, right? You do not have a winning product. When you if you start a brand new store, you don't even know what converts yet, right? You got to go find a product that's converting. You don't know if your niche converts, right? So if your niche is a niche that isn't working, you have to shut down the store, start a new store, different niche, try that out. If that doesn't work, you got to shut down the store, start a new store, right? Just complex. You do not have a system in place. You do not understand when you're starting out how to build a system that can convert someone from not knowing who you are to buying something from you, right? You do not have that system in place. And you do not have the best advertising combination. So you don't know what ads work. You don't know what creative works. You don't even have a creative. Now we're paying people hundreds of dollars to get you a video to advertise, right? Now, in my personal experience, it took us on average 60 to 90 days to get a store up to $10,000 a month, right? Like we were able to take a store from 0 to 10,000 a month in 60 to 90 days. And it only took us 22 days to take it to $40,000, which is crazy, right? Yeah, now, according to most business gurus, right, everyone asks you to focus on making the first $100 or focus on making the first $10 or the first $1,000 or whatever, right? Because they're like, all right, well, don't be dreaming of making 100 grand if you can't even make $1,000. Look, that's bullshit, right? Making your first 10,000 is the hardest. Once you get to $10,000, getting to 100 grand, it's simple, guys. I'm telling you that from personal experience. We took a store from, I think it did $7,000, and up until November 13th of 2018, the store did $7,000, right? December 31st, the store was at $97,000 in sales, right? Which is just insane, right? Now, how do you explain that if this rule isn't correct, right? So that is the thing. Is like it's very hard to make your first 10,000 because look, I mean, point is you don't even know what you're doing, right? You're testing a bunch of stuff and you're throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. But once you figure out what sticks, you can just keep throwing more of it, and every time you're gonna make money, right? So anyway, the point is, once you have the winning elements down, right? The winning products and the winning niche and the winning system and the winning advertising combination, all you gotta do is hit the accelerator pedal and you're gonna keep making money, right? It's really that simple. Now, let me ask you this. What if I showed you a way to own e-commerce stores that already have all the winning elements so you wouldn't build anything, right? Without building anything. Yep, you heard that right. Zero building, right? And this is going to be crazy for some of you guys because some of you guys are not even going to believe that this is possible. But stick with me here because I'll tell you my story. Zero building. You don't have to find winning products. You don't have to put systems in place. You don't even need to build anything. You don't need to build a store, nothing, right? And yet, get to $10,000 to $20,000 a month in just the next 30 days, right? And I'm not even joking, guys, because I've done this sort of stuff, right? Again, no guarantees, no legal guarantees, but how would you like it if I showed you that system? Sounds unreal? Sounds like magic? Well, I'm not Harry Houdini. I don't even sound like Harry Houdini. And this is 100% reality, right? Let me walk you through the ultimate blueprint. Guys, excited? Let me first tell you a quick story of how I discovered the system, right? Before actually revealing it to you. So I ran an affiliate marketing business. For some of you guys doing affiliate marketing, you must have even heard of me a few years ago. Like I was pretty well known for being a good affiliate or CPA marketer. I've done that for a few years before Facebook started cracking down on the business model, right? I was an expert also in running, I was expert at running Facebook ads, and also I had this private mastermind with 40 people in it, right? So a lot of people messaged me and they wanted to learn CPA and Facebook ads from me. So I started this private mastermind and I was like, all right guys, I'll show you guys how to really run Facebook ads. And it would cost you $10,000 a month, $10,000 to even join it, right? And we had 40 people in there where I'd share the strategies, and we had this Facebook chat where we would keep sharing strategies, and I had modules and all that. Many people in that group made their money back in just a few short weeks, right? And more using my Facebook ad strategies. One guy went from, I think he was making 10 or 20K then, to 100 grand in 60 days, right? That's because the way that I teach, right, and the way that I look at things is super simple. I do not like complex business operations. I like simple operations, and when I teach it to people, it just works, right? But when Facebook banned affiliate marketers or CPA advertisers and made it extremely hard, I got fucked, right? Because I was like, all right, well, I was making all this money with the CPA stuff, and I was excited and I was thrilled and I was buying all these things. And all of a sudden, Facebook is like, all right, guys, you can't run this stuff anymore, right? So that was when I think I quit for like a while, and then I was busy drinking and being destructive because I didn't know what to do. And I started to see what my clients were up to because I was like, what are these guys doing? Now, by the way, guys, just a disclaimer, if you guys are stuck or overwhelmed, do not start drinking and stuff. That can get quite messy, as you guys might know. But anyway, there was this one guy in my mastermind, right? A 24-year-old guy then. And he was making a lot of money selling e-commerce stuff. And I was genuinely curious, right? So I messaged him and I'm like, what do you do, bro? Like, what's this? Like, because I've done some e-commerce stuff before. I made my first money actually doing e-commerce stuff, print on demand stuff. But I've been out of it for a while because of affiliate marketing and CPA stuff that I was like curious to see what this dude was up to, right? And he had this e-commerce store, online yoga store, and he was selling yoga mats and leggings and very simple products, right? And I was like, okay, well, how much money do you make from this store? And he's like, oh, we just made $100,000. Look. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. I mean, how do you do it? He's like, well, I use your Facebook ad strategies to promote physical products. I'm like, holy shit. So I'm here, right? Completely crushed, drinking at this time, right? And I had this guy using my system, right? It's something that I sort of created, making thousands of dollars a month, right? And I'm like, dude, how is this happening? How do you take my knowledge and make money when I'm not, right? So anyway, I decided to take a look at his business model, a more closer look, right? I was intrigued by it. Now, this guy, right, he wanted me to jump on as a Facebook ad consultant because he was like, all right, bro, look, I use your Facebook ad strategies to make money. Shit, jump on and help us scale this shit. So I was like, all right, well, I'll jump on. So I jumped on, and this was like my first brief touch with e-commerce after a long time. And we scaled this store up to $250,000 or $270,000, right? And we were just selling yoga mats and yoga leggings and that kind of stuff. And I know some of you guys watching this webinar, you're probably like, holy shit, dude, that's insane. No, it's completely true, right? It's completely true. We did it, right? Later, we launched a store and realized how painful it was to deal with the problems, right? We did scale the store to 6 figures, but it was mega painful. So this store was a store in the motorcycle niche. So we were selling motorcycle keychains and shirts and a bunch of products, right? And this time we were actually doing the fulfillment and we were doing a bunch of stuff, right? And we realized how hard it was to scale the store, right? Because now we were dealing with customer complaints and refunds and everything that I hated, right? This was when I had a crazy idea. I wanted to get paid to just run Facebook ads because I was like kind of the expert at that, right? Because I've been doing it for a while. And I was like, all right, dude, like how do we get paid just to run Facebook ads? More specifically, I wanted to get paid just to scale people's ads because that was what I was good at. I was a great scaling guy, right? So this dude, for example, right, he made $100,000 with the store, right? I think that was over a 4 or 5 month period. And he already had the winning products. He already had the winning ads. He just didn't understand scale, right? I was able to jump in. I was able to guide them to scale the store, and ultimately sell the store, right? So that was what I was good at, scaling stores and helping people really scale their businesses up. And let me tell you a secret that I learned from my experience as being an e-commerce expert, and not just e-commerce expert, but running Facebook ads for I think about 6 years now. Scaling ads is incredibly easy, right? It's 10 times easier to hit your first 100 grand in sales than it is to hit your first $10,000. It just is because of the way that it's sort of built, right? And you're also going to have very little competition because not a lot of people understand this golden rule. Everyone's too worried and too scared about scaling that they don't even know that they passed the biggest hurdle of everything, which is getting to the first $10,000, right? For the first 10 grand, you have no idea what you're actually doing. You don't know what products are going to convert. You don't know what strategy is going to work. You don't know if your niche is going to work. Literally, you're blank, right? You have no idea. Like imagine this guy that just started an e-commerce store and he's never done anything like it before. He has no idea how to do anything, right? Like zero. But when you hit your first $10,000, you have winning assets, right? You know your niche, you know your product, you know your strategy, and you also know that the infrastructure that you've built up is somewhat working. Like you have winning elements. You just have to hit the accelerator pedal on it, right? Anyway, so I came up with this idea, right? People now were terribly scared of scaling their ads. They keep looking for an expert to scale their ads because they either don't want to lose a ton of money, because scaling does take a lot of money, right? If you have to take a business from $10,000 to 100 grand, you're going to spend a lot more money on ads, right? It takes money. Now, for a person that has a business, let's say making 5 grand a month, and he wants to scale it to 50, he's playing very carefully because he doesn't understand Facebook ads, right? So he doesn't want to lose any money on ads. He's playing very slowly and very carefully, and he just doesn't know how to do it. he's terribly scared of breaking something that's already working. So a lot of people, right, when you find something, and I'm sure it's the same in your case, where you have something that's working, you don't want to change it, right? Even if you know there's a better alternative, your mind doesn't want to change something that's already working because it's afraid that you might break it, right? So yeah, I wrote this post in a group, right? There was this Facebook group, right? And I posted something in the group saying, all right, guys, well, I'm going to be scaling your e-commerce store for 0 upfront fees, but at a 30 to 40% profit cut. Like you don't even need to pay me anything. Like, I don't need a single dollar from you guys right now. All you guys got to do is sign me in for 30% of the profit cut and make me a partner in your e-commerce business. And I'm going to be the Facebook ads guy. You guys do not even need to worry about Facebook ads. I'm going to be doing everything, right? Like, you don't need to pay an agency. You don't need to pay anybody. Just give me 30% of the profit. I'll handle all that for you. So they essentially paid no fee upfront, but cut us a solid profit percent from the money that we make them, right? And the stipulation here was that we would only do this if your store was making at least $5,000 to $10,000 a month, right? Because at this point, they already have the winning elements, right? They have the winning product, they have the winning niche, they have the store, they have the ads. We just got to hit the accelerator pedal. So we had a ton of store owners reach out and ask us to scale their stores. And these stores were making anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 in revenue, right? We took on a few stores. With one store, we went from making $3,000 a month or something to making $45,000 a month. And I made $5,000 from it personally, profit, right? Which is kind of crazy because now everyone's like, oh, dude, I don't know if this business model is going to work for me. Like, I made $5,000 doing nothing, guys. I was spending 15 minutes every 2 or 3 days, right? I wasn't working every day. I was just working 15 minutes every 2 or 3 days. I just wrote one ad, right? I set up a few campaigns and that's really it. And after that, I didn't even do that. Like, I hired another friend of mine actually. And I was like, all right, bro, I'm going to show you exactly what to do. Do it, right? So I gave him the framework and he starts going out there, he starts doing it, and we get him results, right? Another store went from $3,000 again, $3,000 to $4,000 to $35,000 a month, selling personalized cat socks, right? And this store had an amazing margin as well. And I was doing this with a few different stores. So I had like 5 or 6 e-commerce stores sending me money every single month. And I wasn't doing any fulfillment. I wasn't chasing winning products. I wasn't refunding customers. I wasn't even using my own money on ads. Like, I was doing, like, this is the most risk-free way to build an e-commerce business. But isn't this similar to an agency model, Ace? So whenever I try to tell people about this business model, everyone asks me if I'm trying to teach them how to build a social media marketing agency. No, right? That's a big no. This is not a typical agency model. This is a partner with e-commerce model, right? Because we do not just show you how to run ads as an agency. What most agencies do is they charge like $3,000 a month to run ads, and that's it. We do not show you how to do that. We show you how to partner with the e-commerce store. So you own the store even though you build nothing, right? And that's exactly the rule of the webinar, right? The golden rule, remember, build nothing, own everything, right? You own 30% of multiple e-commerce stores now. You're not doing any of the complicated stuff. You're just focused on doing the Facebook ads, right? And again, you're partnered up with these stores. So if someone sells his store, you get paid on that as well. And this doesn't happen with the agency model, right? All right, so now I showed you guys the ultimate business blueprint. And there's 3 primary questions that you probably have, right? Question number 1 is, how do you use the system as a beginner and you've never scaled ad campaigns before? Matter of fact, what if you were a person that never ran a Facebook ad in your entire life? Would the ultimate blueprint work for you? The answer to that is yes, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do it. Number 2, how do you scale your clients' ad campaigns to $100,000 if you've never run Facebook ads before, which is a legitimate concern, right? Because you don't want to take on a bunch of clients and not get them any results, right? Because scaling is a bit risky, right? If you don't really know what you're doing. Like you're literally spending thousands of dollars that you might lose if you don't have the right system, right? That is the only risk of scaling, is that you might lose money rather quickly. Now, how do you do it in a safe way that gets your clients results? And I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. How do you get the clients if you're just starting out? Like, how do you go and get e-commerce store owners to partner up with you if you're just starting out and nobody knows you, right? Like, in my mind, I'm imagining a person that is maybe in the industry for a while or just got started and has no idea about how this business model works, right? How does a person like that get started and start making $10,000 or $20,000 a month in 30 days? I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do it. So if you're that person, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. All right, let's get in. Let's break down the blueprint into 3 simple steps, right? Get a client, offer a partnership. Number 2, scale their ad campaigns. And number 3, get paid every month. So that's a 3-step formula on which the blueprint operates, right? The first part is the easiest. All I did was I wrote one post in a Facebook group and had 3 or 4 clients by the end of the day, right? And I had a lot more people ask to take them on as a client. Now, look, right? It's a pretty attractive offer to be able to scale someone's store at just a profit cut without charging anything upfront, right? Because, I mean, look, think of it this way, right? Let's say you have an online e-commerce store selling yoga mats, right? And you were making $5,000 a month, and you were too scared to, let's say, spend your money on scaling. Now, what if I come up to you and I say, hey, you don't have to worry about that. I'll take on the risk, right? Like, let me scale the ads for you, and let me help you get the results. And I don't even need any money from you upfront. All I need is 30% of the profits that you make. And I'll handle all the entire Facebook ads department for you. Like, I'll run all the ads, and I'll help you scale, and I'll scale your business up. So you just need to handle the fulfillment end. Now, that is a pretty sweet offer for anybody, right? Many e-commerce businesses doing $5,000 to $10,000 a month and have problems scaling would be happy to partner up with you. Matter of fact, they would be begging you to partner up with you, right? Now, let's talk about the second part, which is rather tricky, right? Scaling their ad campaigns. Now, if you don't have advertising experience, you will burn through your clients' money rather quickly, right? And it's just messy from there, because now you just spent $10,000 and you didn't even make your clients any money, and it's problematic, right? But as I promised, I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. Method number 1, and this is the harder way of doing it, which is start your own dropshipping store, start your own e-commerce store, and build it up to $100,000 a month, right? You would have to do everything here. You would have to go find winning products. You would have to do fulfillment. You would have to find suppliers. You would have to find winning products and funnels and all other complicated stuff, right? But once you scale the store to the $100,000 per month level, you have experience with the acceleration or the scaling. Like, you know exactly what to do, and you know how to get some volume in, right? So this is the method number 1 of doing it. This is a more complicated way. Now, are you ready for the easy way? Are you guys excited? Because I'm super excited to share this strategy with you. Method number 2, the e-commerce fellowship. So, when I first started making money with this business model, I wanted to teach it. But I didn't really know how to break it down for a beginner to understand, because you can't just bundle it into a course, right? Like, for example, like if I shoot a course on here's how you scale Facebook ad campaigns and I give it to you, you can watch the course, but it's still not going to be that effective, right? And I don't want to be the guy that like does these guru videos and says things like start an e-commerce agency, start a Facebook ad agency, even if you've never run Facebook ads before, right? And I don't want it to be scammy like that. I don't want it to be shady at all, right? I wanted to create something that was the most ideal solution for a beginner to get started with e-commerce and start making money, right? This scaling process requires a lot of personal help and attention, right? But the business model is so lucrative that anyone doing straight drop shipping or any other form of e-commerce is terribly missing out. Okay, I mean, think of it. You're really plugging in to the winning elements and building a 5 to 6 figure business working as less as 30 minutes a day, right? That's insane. So then I called the two smartest e-commerce wizards that I know, Pierce and Adam, right? We jumped on a call for close to 2 hours and we tried to figure out how we can help people make money from this business model. Not just watch training, not just read some blueprint, but actually make money with it, right? And why would I want people making money with it? Because I mean, I just love getting testimonials, guys. I have 250 testimonials till date. I did a podcast with a billionaire the other day. The only reason he jumped on is because I have all these success stories, right? I'm trying to build a portfolio of successful apprentices that, you know, and just create somewhat of a secret society of people that, you know, are getting results. So we decided to partner up, me, Pierce, and Adam. And with the fellowship, we don't just teach you Facebook ads, but we do a lot more than that. Now I'll get to that in a second. So this is Pierce, right? And this is Adam, and this is me. So we are the triumvirate. And we're going to be showing you guys how to make the ultimate blueprint work for you in the fellowship. Now, here's what you get access to as a member of this fellowship, as an apprentice of the fellowship. Number one, we jump on a Zoom meeting every single week for 12 weeks with you and help you scale your clients' ad accounts, right? So it's not just a Facebook ad course. We're not just giving you modules to run with, but what's going to happen is you take on a client, you jump on a Zoom meeting with us, and you show us the Facebook ad account, right? And we will tell you exactly what to do. So we will tell you, hey, you know what? Put some more budget here. Change this ad. Put this here. Put that there. And we will essentially tell you exactly what to do. So you're kind of, again, if you're one of those people that never ran Facebook ads before, we'll give you a kickstart course so you get familiar to it. And then we jump on calls and we help you directly, guys. Right? Like, we're going to take so much time out of our life just to help you guys and just to help you guys get your clients some results, right? We'll also give you access to our private suite of softwares and tools that you can use to assist you in getting your clients results. We have multiple custom audiences and other resources in our agency that we'll happily share with apprentices like you once you get started in the fellowship. And we're trying to make this as simple and easy for you as possible. Right? We'll give you a kickstart course that'll help you get started and get ready for the Zoom meetings. So if you don't understand Facebook ads, there's going to be a Kickstarter course that's going to make you familiar to Facebook ads. And then after that, you can jump on the Zoom meetings and really get going. We'll show you how to qualify clients, and we'll show you how to get the clients, and we'll show you guys how to use contract templates to make sure that you're a partner in their e-commerce thing and not just an agency and all of that, right? Just lots and lots of stuff. I'll also give you my special social media selling system that you can use to position yourself as an authority and really get people begging you to run their ads for them, right? Now, what is the best part about the fellowship? We will even give you the first client to handle. Exactly. Every member, right? If you decide to join the fellowship, we will give you the first client that's making $10,000 or $5,000 a month, and we will basically give you the client when you finish the initial training, and we'll show you how to scale their ad campaigns as well, right? So it's like, it's the greatest opportunity ever. You don't even need to worry about getting your first client, right? Because one of the problems that a lot of people have is they're not very certain if they can get their clients' results, and that's why we decided to put our money where our mouth is, and take our clients, some of our clients, and send them to you, so you could run ads for them, right? And you get paid your 20% or 30% or whatever the negotiated cut is on these clients, and we'll also show you how to scale their ad campaigns. It's a pretty sweet deal. Why? We're in the initial stages of the fellowship program, right? So we want to gather as many testimonials and success stories as we can. Because of the amount of work we're putting in, the price of the program is going to be extremely high the second round. And we need some testimonials, right? And from the third round of the fellowship, the price is going to keep getting higher. So if you're watching this webinar and you decide to join the fellowship, you're going to get a good price. But if you don't join and you try to join the next round, you're going to end up paying thousands and thousands of dollars more, right? So because the price is going to keep going up. Like right now, we're looking for apprentices that we can help generate success for, so we can get testimonials, so we could start charging $25,000 to even $30,000 for this program. Yeah, but don't worry, we're not charging $30,000 a month, $30,000 for this program right now, right? That's probably going to be the third or the fourth round that it's going to go that high. So anyway, what is the price of this program? The price of this program is $10,000, or it's 3 payments of $3,500. Right? And it's really not a lot, guys. I mean, think of it. You don't need to spend any money on ads, right? We'll give you the first client, right? Let's say you have a client, let's say you have the first client at $10,000 a month in revenue, $4,000 a month in profit, right? And you get 20% of that. You scale them up to, let's say, $20,000 a month in profit. And with just the 15% alone, you're going to be making $3,000 a month easy, right? And again, no guarantees, but you know, and that's just one store, right? Imagine having 7 different e-commerce stores sending you money every single month, right? And at some point, you don't even need to work anymore. You're only going to be working like maximum of 4 hours or 5 hours a week, because you could get other VAs to come in and do the job for you, and you could have as many as 8 clients sending you, or even 10 clients sending you $5,000 to $10,000 a month. And you could really build a strong business. So the price of this program is $10,000. You can get started for as less as $400 today, actually. So you'd only have to pay $400 now, and you'd have to clear it off in the next few years. If you have a good credit, if your credit's like about 600, right? You can reach out to us, and again, I'll show you guys how to reach out to us, and we can get you started. We have funding sources, so you can split the payments by 2 or 3 years. So you can get started essentially for as less as $150 a month, right? Which is really not a lot of money. You don't really need money to spend on ads, and this is the cheapest and the easiest way to start an e-commerce business. But there is one slight issue. We won't really be allowing everybody in the program. This is strictly reserved for 10 people only. We're gonna be doing live calls with you, and we're practically gonna be hand-holding you throughout the process. And we want to make sure that we're only working with people that are willing to take the action steps necessary, right? Like if you really want to make this business model work for you and you think you qualify, go to aceready.com/fellowship and fill out the application. If you qualify, we'll jump on a call and get you started, right? It's really that simple, guys. If you like this webinar, if you like the model, and if you want to take action on it and get a ton of results, go to aceready.com. That's aceready.com/fellowship. 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 So on that site, you're going to see an application form where you're going to be asked a few basic questions about yourself, because we don't want negative people in there. We don't want complainers in there. We really want to control the environment so everyone makes money, right? Because let's say you're a positive person, right? And you're in the mastermind and you're attending the Zoom calls, and there's this one guy that keeps coming in and spews negativity on the calls. We do not need that person, right? So if you're a person that you think could really benefit from this business model, more importantly, if you're willing to take action, this is for you. And just fill out the application, and if you qualify, we'll jump on a call with you and plug you in. Again, this is reserved for 10 people only, so if you're watching this, take action now, because you might not be able to later, right? This business model is just too good. And again, from my personal experience, I've been doing e-commerce for a while, and I have never seen a business model that's easier than that. So with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this webinar. I hope you learned a bunch of stuff from it. Again, remember, if you want to join the fellowship, it's aceready.com/fellowship. aceready.com/fellowship. But have a nice day or night or wherever you are. And yeah, let's go get some results. All right. See you guys soon.